Hello everybody, Ketshi1383 with Ketshi Gaming, covering the Epic Store Holiday Free Game event with Day 10, that being Metro Last Light Redux. I gotta stick to the bit. On the 10th day of Christmas, Epic Store gave for free Metro Last Light Redux. Okay, now that that's out of the way, Metro Last Light Redux is the sequel to Metro Last Light. At first, I thought it was the dual pack, but it wasn't. It's just the second game. It's not the two of them combined together. So, Metro Last Light takes place in a subway system in Russia, where people are living underground in the various subway lines. And several factions have formed over the course of time, and the character you play has joined I can't remember what the name of the group is, but they call them Rangers, I guess. And at the end of the first one, you discover a bunker of weapons, food, and supplies that is apparently really, really huge. And at first you don't realize it, but the game does center around this bunker and finding a small child, what they call Tall One, at the beginning of the game, which is one of these mutant bipedal creatures that can communicate via psychically, that kind of destroyed a major nest in the first game. Oops. Turns out they weren't all that bad. So, visually, this game is pretty good. It was known to, I guess, break people's PCs back in the day. Kind of like what Crysis did, but this took over Crysis. And it still holds up to this day. It's still pretty detailed. Has a really nice lighting system. The game is dark and with very good shadow effects and stuff like that. Definitely really good ambience. And I'm not sure if I don't think it's my PC. I don't know why, but sometimes when it's rendering characters, they look like plastic until it's sort of like, oh yeah, I need to load these characters in. And then they have more detail and they look a little less flat, is the best way to describe it. So the shooting mechanics are pretty solid as well, and it has some decent stealth mechanics, but when you combine the two, I'm just not that great at it. Mainly because I probably just don't have the patience for it. And it's going to take maybe a game like Metal Gear Solid for me to ever play stealthily like they intended you to or would like you to. I mean, I gave it my best try, and I still got into gunfights, so what can you do? So, at this point in the game that you can see right here, there are a couple of factions. One of them, they have the Red Line, then they have the Rangers, which I mentioned before, and then they have, I guess, Russians that became Nazis. I don't know how that works, but I guess that's a thing. And then you have the various mutants that inhabit the tunnels and the world above. If you're looking for a shooter with pretty good gun mechanics along with some decent horror elements, this game is definitely for you. It is definitely a fun game to play, and I would pick it up if I were you off of the Epic Store if you don't own it already. And I'll sort of make a note here, it's also the game that takes place before Metro Exodus as well. So if you made it this far into the video, thank you for watching and have happy holidays.